On the 18th of June 2023, 5 divers dived 13,000 feet down to explore the Titanic in what's known as the Titanic submersible. The initial price of a seat on the submarine was $250,000. The submersible was originally planned to descend at roughly 3 a.m. ET time, but due to technical mishaps in the device, it was delayed 4 hours until 7 a.m. when they finally started to descend. The journey was meant to be a 2-hour trip, but at 8:45 a.m., roughly 1 hour and 45 minutes after the initial descent, communications between the submersible and the surface vessel had lost complete contact. The land crew attempted to control the submarine back up to surface, but ultimately it failed to appear. 2 hours passed and absolutely nothing. Coast Guards receive reports about the scenario, and the entire day is spent preparing to search the area. The following day, US and Canadian ships and planes begin swarming the area. Sonar buoys are dropped that can monitor for any movement below the surface. Still nothing. Tuesday, 2 days after the descent, France joins in with the search by deploying a ship called Atalante. It is equipped with a deep-sea diving vessel that will be able to carry passengers to locate the lost submarine. However, it wasn't expected to arrive until late Wednesday. Throughout their second day trapped under sea, sounds were heard by an aircraft. Reportedly, there was banging sounds in intervals of 30 minutes, which signal human life, as continuous knocking wouldn't be detected as human-like movement. Wednesday, 3 days after the descent. With the noises being detected from underwater, they have narrowed down the search area, but still nothing. Thursday at 5 a.m. ET time, the deadline of air left in the tank was running slim. They projected that the submersible could have up to 96 hours of air supply from the time it was sealed, but as 94 hours had already passed, the hopes of the general public began to drop. No further information has been released since this time, but this appears to be it. Nothing more has been proven, and it won't reach the news again until a miracle happens. But with the circumstances they are in, it's highly unlikely that they will make it out alive. Let's take a look at who's on board. A 58-year-old billionaire, Hamish Harding, who runs a company in Dubai that sells jet planes. Harding has flown to space, visited the South Pole multiple times, and has the Guinness World Record for the longest time spent in the ocean on a dive. Father and son Shahzada and Suleiman Dawood. Shahzada is the vice chairman of a large fertilizer firm and is one of Pakistan's wealthiest men. Former French Navy diver Paul-Henri Nargeolet, who is nicknamed Mr. Titanic. He is a 77-year-old who led the first recovery expedition to the Titanic wreckage back in 1987, and has spent more time there than any other explorer ever. The fifth and final member of the Titanic submersible is Stockton Rush. He is the chief executive of the company behind the submarine itself. He claimed to have been on every one of the submersible's dives. These 5 men all paid the $250,000 to be on the adventure, and once the communication directly cut from the sub, there was many rumours that started to spread. One rumour was that there was a leak in the machine, which led to the submarine imploding on itself, killing everyone on impact. And others believe it's the curse of the Titanic itself, which led to the submarine losing power and come tumbling down with it. As time ticks on, the air supply wouldn't last forever, and there is reports that the air supply is officially all gone, with pages such as Puberty making the post that the missing Titanic submarine has officially run out of oxygen. Pretty ironic that certain safety measures were skipped in making the vessel in order to visit another vessel that sank due to certain safety measures skipped. This death has been horrible for them. I know people are making jokes about the people aboard having money, and that's what got them into the situation, and it was stupid that they paid so much to even do this in the first place, but I can't help but feel so sad for them. I think people fail to realise that 5 people lost their lives, whether what they did was stupid or not. These people literally suffocated to death. They were starving for days, afraid in deep darkness, knowing that they were going to slowly run out of oxygen and die. They knew that they would never see their loved ones again in their final moments, and I can't imagine how sad and scared they were. My heart breaks for their families. Calm down with the jokes, please. There is a 19-year-old kid and his father on that submarine. I know both of them and their family personally and have for around 6 years. They are good people and don't deserve everyone making fun of them. Whilst there is little information left to cover, people couldn't help but notice that The Simpsons had predicted this event over 17 years ago. The episode Homer's Paternity Coup, which was released on January 8, 2006, shows off the submersibles and how excited they are to go underwater with them. Homer is looking for a treasure at the Titanic, and he ended up getting stuck at the bottom of the ocean, which is a possible scenario of what may have happened to the actual submersible. He begins to panic, and then we see that oxygen begins to run low. But what ultimately makes it seem like The Simpsons predicted this was the fact that Lenny and Kyle were up top trying to communicate with Homer.